is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a blessed day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel, and we are commanded to love one another. Okay, so a Nigerian said something, and it just warmed and won my heart, because this is all we've been trying to get Black immigrants from wherever they come from to see.
Nigerians, I'm speaking to you. I'm a Nigerian. It's none of our business. I want to say that again. It is none of our business. Get your noses out of the cookie jar. What has it got to do with us? Do you know where your village is in Nigeria or in Africa, whether you're Ghanaian, Senegalese, Ivorian? Do you know where your village is? You know where your village is, right? You know what your language is, right? Do they? And you want to come and take money out of their plate.
Now he is speaking on Black Americans' efforts to get reparations for the debt that we're owed because of our ancestors building this country and working free labor for several hundred years. That's what he's talking about. And these Black immigrants, and he was just speaking to the Nigerians, and I thought that was interesting. He's only speaking to his people. He's telling them they need to stay out of our business because that doesn't have anything to do with them. And he's absolutely right. We don't get involved in their business. But they come over here, you know, when Black Americans go to Nigeria, what would you look like going over there as a Black American dipping your nose into their business? They have tribal situations going on in Africa. What would you look like going to Nigeria looking at some kind of conflict between the Igbo and the Hausas? I think that's who had the Biafran War, and trying to take sides. You don't have any business over there meddling into those people's business because you don't know enough about it to be taking sides. If anything, you could look at the situation and say, oh, okay, this is what they're doing. But you wouldn't have a right to go into their country trying to say who's right and who's wrong and taking sides and doing public announcements about what you think about it because it's none of your business. So he's absolutely right. It's none of their business. Just because you come here, go to school, get a job, become a naturalized citizen, and start living here and calling yourself an American does not give you the license to dip into a situation that was in existence before you got here. Even if you're paying taxes, even if you own your own home, even if somebody calls you Mr. or Dr. somebody, that still does not give you license to meddle into something that was owed before you got here. And another thing that they do that I find troubling is they keep talking about Black Americans playing victim. When we talk about our history and what happened to our family members during the slave system and the Jim Crow system, we're not playing victim. We are reporting history. This is our history. It's a difference in you telling what happened to you and playing a victim. I'm playing victim if I say something happened to me that didn't happen. But if I'm reporting something that actually happened to me, I'm not playing victim. I'm reporting facts. When the Somalis come over here from a refugee camp talking about what Al-Shabaab, a terrorist organization, they say, did to their country, they're not playing victim. They're actually telling you what happened to them. When Boko Haram in Nigeria kidnapped those girls from that school and took them to who knows where, and they were lost to their families for years, and then they come back and tell what happened after some of them have been recovered, they're not playing victim. They're telling you what happened to them. So people need to learn. I wish that, especially Africans, I wish they would learn American vocabulary. They learn the language, but they don't know the meaning of words. I have come to believe that many of them do not have enough vocabulary to be trying to engage in a conversation. They don't know the meaning of culture, and they don't know the meaning of victim and other words that they throw around, usually referencing Black Americans, and they don't know what they're talking about. You make yourself look ignorant when you do that. What it looks like they're doing is taking on white supremacists' talking points in an effort to gain favor with white people and distance themselves from Black people. But they're going about it the wrong way. The best way to distance yourself from Black Americans is to distance yourself from Black Americans, physically and verbally, meaning you don't come around them and you don't talk about them. I guarantee you, if you don't come around Black Americans and don't talk about Black Americans, we won't talk about you. When Europeans, white people from Europe, come to the United States, they don't come over here getting on public platforms talking about white Americans. Because first of all, if you don't like the way they do it, take your ass back where you came from. And second of all, it's none of your business. And third of all, you're showing disrespect to the people in their own country to come into their country critiquing them. It goes beyond arrogance. You have no self-awareness. You don't realize your irrelevance in that situation. You are totally irrelevant in that situation. And by extension, your opinion is irrelevant. Another word for irrelevant is unimportant. Your opinion is unimportant in the situation. So all you're doing by meddling into something that's none of your business is pissing people off. Because you have no place here. You don't know enough about American history to be talking, and yet you're running your mouth. And this is what this man is trying to say. You need to shut up. He didn't say it in those words, but that's really what he meant. You need to shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. African Americans are at the root of American history. This country was not a country before we came here. We are embedded in the DNA of this country. So when we talk about our history, or when we talk about American history, they're one and the same. We're talking our history and we're talking American history. We're talking about what happened in the past. That's called history. And this history has been brutal, and it has been violent, and it has been long-standing. There's been a lot of brutality and a lot of violence. When we talk about these things, it is history. It's American history, and it's Black American history. What is your history? Rather than talk about Black Americans, why not tell us about your history? We could bond over our different histories. I just did a video about these African men needing to show courage. Somebody came into my comment section and said that I was saying all Africans. I did not say all Africans. There's a difference between all and these. If I say all Africans, I'm talking about all of the Africans on the continent and everywhere else. But if I say these Africans, then I'm talking about a specific group of Africans. My video said these Africans, and I showed a picture, a video really, of the ones that I was talking about. And yet somebody would come into my comment section and say, I'm talking about all Africans. I absolutely was not. I definitely wasn't talking about the people of Nigeria who are getting ready to fight invaders who are coming in there to take over their natural resources. I was talking about the runners, the ones who are sitting around running their mouth about Black Americans when Africa is in crisis. And you claim you love Africa and you're so proud, but you're not proud enough to stand and fight. That is what demonstrates whether or not you're proud of your country or your continent. It's not what you say, it's what you do. So I really appreciate this young man, this Nigerian man, telling Nigerians to stay out of Black Americans' business because you don't have any place in our business. In the same way that we don't have any place in your business. Now, I believe that Black people all over the world ought to say something about what's happening in Niger. Niger is a sovereign country. They have a right to make their own laws and select their own government or elect their own government. It's their business. And so now somebody else thinks they want to come in and establish democracy in Niger when they don't have democracy in their own country. And Western countries are trying to push West African countries up to invade Niger in the name of establishing democracy and reinstating a puppet leader. But what they're really wanting to do is get control of Niger's mineral resources. And this whole thing about using black people to chastise or subdue other black people should have gotten really old and really tired by now. That's an old trick, it's an old strategy, and something new needs to be done. In closing, I appreciate this young man, and I hope that more Africans will speak out, because that is what will bring respect to the discourse. When everybody respects everybody else, and you respect people by staying out of their business, one of the best ways to respect another person or another group of people is to stay out of their business. Let them run their business and you run yours. Okay, y'all. Thank you very much for listening. Let me know what you think about the video and this young man telling Nigerians to mind their business. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.